So what I want to talk about is really how us as bookkeepers should be taking care of our clients. How many of us have been seeing clients showing up with that all-inclusive travel expense ledger, and we have to talk to them about it. We always ask them if any part of it is meals. When we ask them if any part of it's business or personal, what part of it is personal, pardon me, we often get all of it's business. The one thing we're lacking in that whole communication is ensuring that the client's properly documented where they went and what they did. They sneak in little personal trips to Jasper or Banff, and at that time when we're talking to them, it could be easily a business expense, but 2 years later when they get scrutinized maybe by the government, they have no documentation as to what they did there. So I really believe that convention business travel could provide us an opportunity to have the clients make themselves more accountable at the time it's happening. Even waiting for the time when they get scrutinized at their year end, when we are asking them, you've got $8,000 in travel expense, is this all for working out, or all these expenses in that GL connected to an invoice that generated income? Because if that's the case, then the locations will match the receivables. But if the locations of the travel expenses don't match the receivable locations, there's a problem with the ledger. So we see so many clients using this ledger and not really making themselves a log or a period of time to actually evaluate what's gone through that ledger. Secondly, there's the most unused expense deduction that we've seen in our business center for over 20 years, is that convention business travel. And I think this is where we need to spend some time and introduce this to our clients so that they understand they could be taking some time away from their business with the focus on the betterment of their business, traveling somewhere in the concept of a convention, and dealing with these compliance issues, like the log that properly documents the travel they did, the log that properly documents the vehicle they use, the log that properly documents their asset uses. Like, are they still hauling that asset? Are they even using that equipment still for business? Has it been, put in the boneyard? So this is where having a convention, I want to suggest that an annual return agenda, the annual return that they're doing for the province, or their business in a whole, if it's a proprietorship, they have to do something once a year to renew their business name with the province. Corporate-wise, they have to do minutes to even accept the financials. Why could we not encourage them to, at the time they're doing their annual return for their name and their authorization of their company, implement their convention agenda? Within that convention agenda, give them a generic list of, looking at your travel ledgers, looking at your auto logs, looking at your asset use. What kind of donations do you want to make that properly promotes your company? What kind of advertising dollars do you want to spend? Where are you going with your business? So that's where I think convention business travel can bring us together with our clients and produce a more compliance assured ledger list, getting their clients to look at their books. Because it's not the accountant that can help them become compliant. It's the communication we give them when they produce their receipts and their purchases that they can ensure that they're going to be more compliant. We're only just devil's advocate in some ways. So in reality, I think the convention business travel conventions could actually, you could be, as soon as you're starting to do a year end, you could be providing them their own agenda based on when you're looking at their synoptic of what things you believe they need to have meetings about, and whether they choose to go and incorporate it into a convention. There's some issues that might be generic, like the annual return with the province having to be renewed, deciding if their name is fine, if their shareholders are listed correctly, are they going to issue dividends? These are things that they likely would have to talk to their accountant about, but that even could be done by a conference call, whatever location they're at. That could be part of one of the topics on their actual convention.